Hey man, what's up?
Hi, man.
I'm picking up the trash, man. Let's do it together. Come on.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Whoa guys, what are you doing?
We volunteer to keep our city clean. Come on, everybody should do it. Why not?
Well, I guess, yeah.
Volunteering is generally defined as performing a service willingly and without pay. There are many forms of volunteering. Specifically, in our study, we would ideally interview 5 people from different locations, such as a UvA, a sports club, a refugee camp, church, and someone who had their volunteering experience in Kenya. We decided on those 5 different areas of voluntary information sourcing as they represent a diverse scope of backgrounds in terms of education, culture, personal attributes, and the motives behind their decision to volunteer. This is where Wobby comes in. Wobby is an internet platform aiming to help both volunteers and organizations. Through questionnaires that are later analyzed by algorithms, volunteers are matched with the most suitable positions. The same concept has originally been applied to a job-seeking website in the US, and it's proving to be successful. We're collaborating with Wobby to find out what intrinsically motivates people to undertake volunteering experiences.
Our research will be explanatory and applied, meaning that it is a problem-solving approach aiming to rather explain the phenomena than describe them. Some related theories will be helpful in analyzing the outcomes of our research. Will be the following. Ontology is a social framework trying to answer the question of whether the social world is seen as something outside the social actors or something that was created by humans in the process of fashioning. Epistemology concerns the question whether there is one road to truth or that one needs several methods to describe the meaning of social experience. Grounded theory enables explanations and theories to arise in research settings that do not possibly consist of hypothesis testing, since in some cases conclusions can only come up after step-by-step data collections and analysis. Functionalism is a framework for building theory that sees society as a complex system whose parts work together to promote solidarity and stability.
These concepts are not only essential in the academic research world, but are also largely related to our specific study. Ontology is a sense of purpose that connects us to the need to volunteer, as it is something we haven't fashioned. Epistemology is the core of our research because there's not a single truth as to why people get involved in volunteering. Grounded theory is also related in a way that there are no preconceptions about underlying factors that contribute to the motivation of volunteering, for example, the career building reasons. And finally, the act of volunteering also directly relates to the concept of functionalism, as it is the core value to promote stability and solidarity within society.
Okay, so research methods. We should have 2 people in a semi-structured interview, and I need to make sure we have recordings, notes, or memos to get the most accurate information possible. And of course, I need to guarantee inductive reasoning with my group mates, because we do not test any hypotheses, but we will just come up with explanations after data collection and analysis. But what about making sure we are ethical in our interview? We need to train ourselves as interviewers in advance. And we need to make sure that disclosure, anonymity, and confidentiality are presented to the interviewee to make sure they give as accurate information as possible without showing any possible bias. We also have to give them informed consent so that they are aware of everything that is going to happen during the interview, and we also should use theoretical sampling method. Now, what's the most optimum way to do data collection for a research question? We can interview people from different educational backgrounds, ranging from a high school diploma to postgraduate diploma, and we can find out whether it influenced their attitudes to volunteering. And it would probably be best to have pre- and non-predetermined questions, just so we have an idea for exactly what we want to know, but also, depending on their answers, we can get some more concise information. In terms of coding, We can use open coding. After a thorough read of this transcript, we can summarize and include records of examples by assigning codes. And then eggshell coding by identifying relationships between the open codes. And of course, finally, selective coding is essential as we can identify core variables of the data and look for the general pattern. But we need to consider the biases. There's social desirability bias, which in the interviewing my base his or her answers desirable to what they think we want to know. And of course, there could be confirmation bias, where us ourselves, we might be looking for information that confirm pre-existing hypotheses that might even be subconscious. Oh, and what about question order bias? The order we present our questions could actually have a difference in what they tell us. That's something we're gonna need to figure out. What are we gonna do about all this bias? How are we gonna limit them?
Hey, did you say biases?
Oh, hi, do you know anything about it?
Of course, I can show you.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
sit down. Well, the first point to take into consideration is reliability, and we will try to achieve that by repeating the same measures upon different data and interviews.
That's a good idea.
After that, we've got validity to take into consideration, and we will try to do that by interviewing people from different social groups and from different academic backgrounds, which is one of the main interests of our research.
That makes sense, yeah.
And the last point is the awareness of biases, because we as researchers need to take into consideration the fact that we also can have biases against other people that we interview and participants.
And then we can also probably observe the interviewee's biases based on their personal attributes.
Absolutely, that's a point to be very, very attentive about.
That's very nice, thank you for helping me.
No problem, man.
Have you ever done volunteering? Or would you want to?
We hope that our collaboration in this project will help you to find a perfect volunteering position.
Our research adds to Wobby. The study's outcomes will contribute to the website's questionnaire efficiency, resulting in a higher understanding of volunteers' motives and behaviors.
Wobby will change the way we perceive recruiting by presenting innovation, efficiency, and bridging the gap between companies and volunteers.
Thank you for your attention and
Thank you for watching!